Hello students. So we are into chapter 3 of your textbook, and we were studying the transfer function. Yeah, so from the mechanical system, the spring mass damper system, we related it to the LCR circuit. Yeah, so LCR circuit. So if you remember, we had a inductor, and then we had a resistance R, and then the capacitance C, and this was input voltage and this is the output voltage EO, and we found out the relationship. We found out the equation basically. So what equation was something like this, was LC, then EI double dot plus RC, yeah, then EI dot plus we had EI equal to E naught, yeah, like this one. And from there, if you do the accordingly, we found out the transfer function Ts equal to, we found out equal to EO over EI, Laplace transform of both of them, or E naught S over EIS, and which was equal to, we found out this will be LC S square plus, here we will get R CS plus 1. Yeah. Okay, so this is transfer function, and we compared with our original system that we know, and this is K, this is the damping small c, and there is a mass m, and the equation for this is mx, this is a displacement, mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx equal to F, where F is the force being applied here. And in this case, transfer function is equal to xs over fs. This is small f, the function t, yeah, and which is equal to 1 over m s square plus cs plus k. Yeah. Okay, so when we go to chapter 5, we will find out the response basically. But right now, just remember that whatever property we have seen here, same property you will see here. This, so in this case there was, for free vibration there was underdamped vibration or critically damped, or the overdamped vibration. Same kind of things will also be applicable here. Why? Because the equations are same. Yeah, similar equations. So this is equation of a vibration, this is also equation of a vibration. This has a natural frequency omega n equal to this term, which is k, and divided by this term, which is m. Same here, you can find out omega n equal to root under this term here, coefficient is 1, divided by this term, this is LC. So this is natural frequency you find out. That really means that you can use this circuit to actually make a sinusoidal wave. That really means, for example, in this case, you have, if you give some disturbance, it will start and go like something like this, right? And finally it will settle like blah. This also, if you give some voltage and then release, you know, so you first have just charge it, means you apply a, let us say, something like this, give a, right? Okay, so you give some, here you make a switch, right? Okay, it's like this one. Now just switch it on, yeah, and then you will automatically see that it will be basically it will start oscillating like this one. It will go and oscillate. Some kind of or just connect it for some time and release it, you know, and then you will see this kind of oscillation. It will start will be and finally it is going to settle down. Again, depending on the factors. Factor means this will happen only when this is underdamped, you know, so you have to look at the same condition what you see here, same condition will be applicable in those things. So you will already we will see that in chapter 5. But good thing here to see that there is not the only one type of system which will display this vibration system. Yeah, there are many other kinds. So one of the kind is we are going to study today, another kind, and that also comes from the electrical only, and this is what is known as op-amp. Okay, so op-amp. Okay, this is what we will study. So we will look at the circuits related to op-amp, and we will use that to make some oscillator circuits. We can make oscillator circuits, meaning that we want to get type of a system that we desire. Yeah, so second order system, first order system, this kind of system we can make using the operational amplifier. So operational amplifier, also known as op-amp. Okay, this is the symbol, so minus, plus, and here you have like this and this. This is input. So let us say call it E1, E2 voltages basically with respect to a ground, and this is output. Okay, so E, let's say EO. Yeah. So there is a relationship. There are few things which is about this operational amplifier. Okay, one thing is this comes operational amplifier is a very economical electronic item. You can find it prices will not be much, you know. So one of them is 741 series. Yeah, so this will have this you can use basically as an amplifier. You can for example, you have a extent gauging, for example. If you do extent gauging, for extent gauging you need probably even like a better amplifier, but this may also work there. So the signal may be very small and you have to amplify, so you can use that basically. Yeah, so this is the amplifier. This is the name of number of the 7. If you say IC 741, there will be lot of products available. For example, from Texas Instrument, they also make it. Okay, so here so basically this is the amplifier. So first thing is a gain. Yeah, so there is a gain, right, or amplification factor. So the K is, which will be order of 10 to 5 to 10 to 6, like that. So just think about, you are inputting here 1 and outputting 10 to power 5 or 6. Yeah, so this is a huge amplification. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is this K, how this is related with the input and output. That really means EO equal to this output voltage equal to K times E2 minus E1. So look at here, there are two pins basically. Yeah, so this is differential amplifier, meaning that the difference between the two is going to amplify. So difference between this will be the first one, this will be second one. So this minus this is amplified, and hence you have plus and minus, you call it. So K E2 minus E1, because this is the one which is at the higher potential supposed to be, this one is lower, so this minus this is amplified. So E naught equal to K, E out equal to K times E2 minus E1. So this is the equation. So one is amplification is big, that means very bigger than 1, then this is E out, this output potential is equal to E2 minus E1 multiplied by K, where K is the gain. Okay, for 741, for example, this will be 10 to 5. I mean, typically the the op-amps have this kind of amplification factor. Okay, one assumption also you have to make is the current flowing to the this is very small. So current, if this is I, let us say, okay, so going like this one, let us say something like this. Okay, so current flowing to the op-amp is equal to 0. So these assumptions are typically made regarding this op-amp, and based on that our derivation will be based on this. So these three things are important. Okay, so based on that we will derive. Okay, so let's start with one circuit like this one. Okay, so we have this, and this is minus, and this is plus, and this one is attached to the ground or earth, right? So like this one, like this. Yeah, there is something here that I missed. There is resistance here like this, so let's call it R1, and then from here there is another resistance that goes here, connected here, and we call it R2. Yeah, okay, so this is the configuration, and we want to find out what is transfer function, right? Ts equal to what in this case, and why we want to do it. This has very interesting property. Okay, so we will find out, establish if this is the case, if you connect like this one, then we can find out the transfer function for this one. Yeah, so that way this is also a kind of a proportional control, you know. So the input will be the output will be proportional to input. That we will show in this case, output will be proportional to input. Of course, like for op-amp itself, the difference between the two multiplied by a K is like this one, but we are not talking about that. We are talking about like we can change this transfer function. Means if you want to make 1, for example, then what to do? You want to make transfer function equal to 1 unit, means output equal to input. Then how to do it? So this is the circuit with which you can control that. You can make a circuit where the output is 5 times of the input always. How to do it? You can change the value of R1, R2, and you can do it. And that's what we are going to find out. And what is the motivation? Because in your control system, you can use that, you know. So, and we will see, it's very important that we should know how to multiply. Some signal is coming, we are going to multiply it by some constant number, you know. So all those things. Why? So that equation changes, property changes, something like underdamped becomes overdamped, and so on. Yeah, so that's why important. Yeah, this also will give us the general property based on that, and we can find out the integrator, for example, differentiator, all those things we can make. Why? That is also needed later on. Yeah, so when we learn about PID control, that's proportional integrator and differentiator, all those units will come from these only. So this is also for implementation, is important to know. Okay, so that's why we are studying this one. So here this this one is EI, of course this is a 0 voltage, so EI with respect to this one, here this is EO. Okay, now the equations that we have to remember here, and those equations are, first thing is like you have to remember this K, right? So k is the product of 10 to the power 5, so k is very large than okay, very larger than 1, so that we have to remember. Second thing is the E2, the E naught equal to k times. Now we don't know what the E here, let's call it E dash. Okay, let's call it E dash here, and here it's a 0, right? This is connected to earth, so it's a 0, so here it is E dash. So E naught or E out will be equal to here see 0 minus, this is 0 and here is a plus, minus E dash, right? E dash. So this is what the E out is, yeah, or this is one thing that we get, yeah. Okay, now the thing is the third assumption was there is no current going to this one, right? So here, okay, so hold on, I think from here we can see one thing, that if k is very large, k is very larger than 1, yeah, and we know that k is a 10 to the power 5 or 10 to the power 6, that really means like E naught will be very small, very small. With respect to what? With respect to E naught, with respect to E naught or even EI, yeah. So here basically our since k is very big, E naught has to be very small. So for example, if E naught is equal to 1 units, let us say volt, then E dash will be equal to say minus 10 to the power minus 5 or 10 to the power minus 6 volt. See, very small, yeah. So that's what is the meaning of that, yeah, because k is 10 to the power 5 to 10 to the power 6, that's why. So this is very small, and that really means we can make E naught is equal to 0, you can make, yeah, we can say that way, okay, and that will help us, okay. Okay, so here this tells us that E dash will be very small as you compare with this one, yeah, and because of that there will be, if it is 0 here, if this is 0 here, and then what happens? Because of that we can find out the current which is flowing here. So this, let us say this is EI, which is the current, and this is I1, this is I2, right? So that really means that here since E dash is close to 0, yeah, so you can find out basically I1 will be simply equal to the R EI minus E dash over R1 is equal to EI over R1 simply. Why? Because E dash is close to 0, right? So this one is simply EI over R1. Okay. Now second thing is I2 which flows here. Okay. I2 will be, again this is 0, and this is E naught. Yeah. So this will be I2 equal to, we have 0 minus E naught over R2. Yeah. So 0 basically, this is E dash only, because here it is E dash, but E dash is close to 0, so hence becomes minus E naught over R2. Yeah. Okay. From this equation we can find out if we take that really means from first equation you get EI, which is equal to I1 R1, and the second equation you get E naught be equal to minus I2 and then minus I2 R2. Hence the output over input, right, the transfer function. So E naught over EI will be equal to minus I2 R2 over I1 R1. Yeah. So far we have this. Now next assumption. The next assumption is there is no current flowing like this one, right? So this is I equal to 0. So negligible current into the op-amp. Okay, that really means I1 is equal to I2. That really means, yeah. If there is no current going inside the op-amp, that really means whatever current comes here goes this side. Hence I1 equal to I2. Yeah, so I1 equal to I2. Then we put it there. What we get? E naught over EI equal to minus R2 over R1. So here, since this is not function of time, this is not a function of time, we can say that this is the transfer function. Ts in this case will be simply minus R2 over R1 simply, right? Even if you take the Laplace transform, you get the same value because it's not function of time. Yeah, so you get equal to minus R2 over R1. That is all. Yeah. Now same circuit we can draw differently. Differently means instead of saying R1, we can call it Z1, which is this impedance. And similarly here also the impedance is Z2, right? And everything will be in the complex, in the form of complex frequency, the way we did in the last lecture. Yeah. So instead of having resistance, we can, this is in time domain, right? So this is in time domain, and this we can convert into frequency domain, right? And how you do it? Okay, we'll take just Laplace transform of everything, whatever is there. Everything will have Laplace transform, and hence we will get here this will be EIS, right? Okay, and then this can have okay, let me draw here. So directly I am drawing the in frequency domain now, and what do we have? The circuits remain similar. So we have Z1, and then from there minus plus yeah, another one here, this is Z2 is connected like this. Yeah, okay, Z1, Z2, all these are impedance, right? So this is similar to what you have studied in the last video lecture, impedance. As you know, if this is a L, then you have L times S. Then when you have a resistance, you have just resistance R. When a capacitor, you have 1 over CS, right? So this is what the impedance is, and if you have the combination, accordingly there will be combination. Yeah, so these are the impedance now. So the same circuit as we studied earlier, but now everything has the Laplace transform taken for that, right? So this one is grounded here, EIS, and E out S here. Okay, So transfer function, earlier what we got is Ts equal to minus R2 over R1. And here also you do the same analysis, exactly same way. Yeah. And you will find here EOS over EIS will be equal to minus Z2 over Z1. Yeah. This follows what we have written here. Okay, exactly similar analysis. What we are doing, we are taking replacing the frequency domain values now. So instead of a small ei, we are writing big ei. Similarly here big O. Instead of R1 we have Z1. Instead of R2 we have Z2. And we do the same analysis in everything will be same. For K also the E0 will be equal to K, and whatever the value here which is will be 0 basically, right? Because it is 0, the current flowing here will be current here, and same analysis you do and you get exactly same thing. Yeah. So this gives you a powerful tool basically. You can now have, for example, if you want to make transfer function, let us say you want to make something like A over B plus DS, something like you want to make. Yeah, maybe you are making an instrument in which you can make any kind of transfer function. Yeah, that's for study for, or some instrument you are making that will be useful in colleges, let us say. And so somebody wants to make this kind of transfer function out of this, how to make it? Then you know that you have to have, let us say, here it is inverted, so in this setting is always inverted only. So remember, we can also make it non-inverting also, that we will do. But here you assume that you want inverted only because you have learned inverted only so far. So the minus A over B plus ds, we want to make something like this one. So then our since Z2 comes here, so Z2 we have real number. So we can make R2, we can write R2, and B is real number, right? So B, or simply this is A basically, right? And here Z1 equal to B plus ds is equal to, you can have R1 here plus, what is that? D times S, LS. So you can write LS. Okay, so that really means if you want to make this kind of transfer function, what we can do? So at Z1 we can replace this one with R1 plus LS, something like this one. So we can make like add one resistance here and one inductor here as well. So this is R1, this is L. Z2 is a constant. We can make just R2 here. So we make R2 here. Right? So this is R2 here like this. R2. And you have this kind of transfer function. So for this transfer function will be Ts equal to minus R2 divided by R1 plus Ls. So see what you get. This is a first order system. Yeah. So you automatically get this kind of, you can make a like transfer function, desired transfer function using op-amp. So this is a very powerful tool. But here what we see is always inverting, right? So this is inverted you get. So what is the way to make it non-inverting? That we will study. So that it is not should not be negative of what we are doing. Of course, you can have negative and negative again, you can make a positive. Yeah, so that kind of thing also you can do. But then you will need two ICs, so why not just use only one? You can do it. So we will study that. To make a non-inverting circuit, we have to connect this differently. So originally we had, so this is R1, and then op-amp here, this is minus, plus here, another resistance, yeah. So R1, this is R2, and you connect like this. Okay, this is grounded. So this is how the circuit is. So now input is going to this plus pin, yeah. So this is EI here, and this is E out. Right? So instead of what is the difference here? Instead of adding joining these to the earth, we are joining these to earth now. Yeah, that's what we have done. Others remains the same. Earthing this, instead of earthing this one plus one, we are earthing the minus one, right? So that's what we are doing simply. And then we want to find out what is the transfer function in this case, okay? And this again, we can write the K, the E naught equal to K times, so whatever the value, so let's say E dash is here like this one, okay? So what will you get? We get, so EI minus E dash, right? So this is a relationship, same as earlier, yeah. So we have this. Now the current to the op-amp, right? Op-amp is negligible, right? So there is no current, you can assume there is no current going there. So in a way you can say that here, whatever, let us say this is EI, or this is sorry, I1, this is I2. So this should be here I1 minus I2, right? So that the total is 0. So coming here is I1, and going here I2 plus I1 minus I2, hence so whatever current comes here goes out of that. So like this. So that really means I1 minus I2 equal to 0, and hence that tells you that I1 equal to I2. Right? Yeah. If that is the case, if I1 equal to I2, yeah, so we can say I1 equal to I2 equal to I, right, like this. Then the total, if you see the current which flows from here to here, so I we can write as I equal to the 0 minus and E naught, yeah, 0, because this is grounded, then you have E naught, 0 minus E naught divided by total resistance. Total resistance is R1 plus R2. So you can, so this is this becomes circuit something like simply like this, right? So you have 0 here and you have E naught here. This is R1, this is R2, like this one. Hence the current will be, if you are showing this way, will be 0 minus E naught divided by R1 plus R2. So that's what that is, and equal to minus E naught over R1 plus R2 will be the current. Yeah, so we can say I, which is equal to I2, equal to I, right? So like that. Hence you can find out E dash now, right? So E dash will be equal to, so whatever is current flowing, right? So this will be at lower potential than this one, but how much? This will be 0. So from the minus, there will be a drop, right, from here to here, multiplied by I times R1. Yeah. So E dash will be the whatever voltage here minus whatever the voltage drop is because of R1, right? So which is I times R1, and hence you have 0 minus I is equal to nothing but minus E naught over R1 plus R2, and then you have R1, and hence you will have E naught then R1 divided by R1 plus R2, right? So that's what that you get. So E dash will be equal to R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Okay. So so we have this we can use in this equation. You have E naught equal to K, and then you have EI, then minus R1 E naught divided by R1 plus R2. So this we have, or we get E naught here, so we get 1 plus R1 over R1 plus R2 times K. There will be K value here, right? So E naught 1 plus R1 over R1 plus R2 times K multiplied by E naught will be equal to K times E I, right? So next is this we will have, others we can delete. So from this equation we can divide by K, and what do we get? If we divide by K, we have 1 over K multiplied by R1 plus R2 multiplied by E naught equal to EI, right? So this equation just multiplied by K both the sides, and you get this one. Yeah. Okay. And next is the output over input. Output over input, which is equal to T with transfer function only. In this all are R1, R2, these are basically not time dependent, means they are constant only. So you can just write T, and then what do you have? This will be equal to E naught over EI, right? However, one more simplification we can do here, and that is, since K is very greater than 1, yeah, where R1 over R1 plus R2 will be around 1, little bit less, maybe 10 to power minus 2 to 10 to power 2, something like that, right? Both are positive only, so hence this will be less than 1 only, but this will be, the values we are interested in will not be comparable to what the K is, meaning that 1 over K will be order of 10 to the power minus 5 and 10 to the power minus 6, something like that. However, R1 plus divided by R1 plus R2, we are not expecting so much, and the gain we are what you're interested in will be like in say 100 or 10 or 1, something like that, the ratio, something like that. Ratio meaning that the R1 over R2, something like that, right? So we are interested in this may be from 1 over 100 to 100, this kind of thing. Yeah, example. Yeah. Hence, whatever ratio you get will be this ratio. If you compare with this value, this will be very small. Hence, this we can write the same equation. This one we can let's write here. So E naught over EI will be equal to 1 over 1 over k plus r1 divided by r1 plus r2. Yeah, and in this case, since k 1 over k can be neglected, yeah, so we can write equal to 1 in comparison with this one. So we can say 1 over k is very less than r1 over r1 plus r2. That's what I mean. Yeah, so hence we can write it equal to r1 over r1 plus r2, and that makes it r1 plus r2 divided by r1 simply. Yeah, or t in this case simply we get so t equal to r1 plus r2 divided by r1. Okay, or you can write as simply also t equal to 1, or let's say called ts, don't matter because this is constant. So even if you take transfer function in the complex frequency domain, then also it will remain the same. So ts equal to, you get 1 plus r2 over r1. So what you see is the difference between the earlier inverting one and non-inverting one. The inverting one, you had minus r1 r2 over r1. Here you have 1 plus r2 divided by r1. So this is the difference. But what you see here, this is positive. It maintains the sign. Yeah, so whatever, if you give the positive signal, you get the positive signal here also. Otherwise, you will not get. Yeah, the earlier configuration, you had a minus. So you put a positive signal, you get negative signal out. What you notice here is, since this transfer function has 1 plus r2 over r1, because of that, what happens is this not so depends on just a ratio. So you have 1 plus and then ratio, but in the other case it was just simply the ratio only. So here, because of that, there may be some complications. So you may not be able to control many things. For example, if you wanted to make some ts equal to the way you wanted to make a plus divided by p plus cs, something like this one, let's say d. So then you have to get in this form, for probably it may not be possible to get exactly like this one in that case, right? So so in this case, for example, ts has to be r1 plus r2 over r1. So if you see r1 equal to this one and r1 plus r2 equal to this one, so there is some negative thing come into picture and all, so becomes difficult basically. So what you see is, even if you have here z1, z2, for example, you can get transfer function, although in terms of g1, the z2 over z1, but it is not so convenient in the earlier case. The earlier case, you had transfer function equal to z2 divided by z2 minus z2 divided by z1, and based on that you could do lot of things. You can also stack one, like is negative, another one is positive, and hence you multiply together and it goes like that. So this multiplied by this and it goes like that. Here also you can stack, but it will be 1 plus r2 over r1 multiplied by 1 plus whatever the transfer function in that side. So although this is non-inverting, but that is one advantage, but at the same time you also have this expression, so because of that there may be some disadvantage. But in any case, we just studied that this is also one option. In some cases this may be convenient. So so meaning that we can also write the general purpose. So if you have z1 here like this, and then you have z2 like this one, like this. Okay, so EOS minus plus, and here sorry, this is the input here, so plus, so EIS, and this one is connected to the ground like this one. If you have this case, so in that case the transfer function will be something like this one only. So now this one is for the in the complex frequency domain, in S domain, right? In S domain everything is there. So whatever you have here, this instead of R2 it may be LCR circuit, whatever circuit here, and the equivalent, the impedance you have to put. So in S domain the transfer function TS is given by 1 plus Z2S divided by Z1S, right? So it will be something like this. Yeah. Okay, so for some system it may be useful. So like this, if you want just a proportional system, for example, you just wanted a very only constant, the proportional the control. In that case, instead of using 2 op-amp, you can just use only one, and you can get this kind. The total will be R1 plus R2 divided by R1. So this can be used in that way. So based on what you have studied so far in the assignment or in the quizzes, I can ask about the transfer function, for example, right? So I can give a circuit, maybe something like this, yeah, which may have any kind of circuit. So this is a R2, this is C1, yeah, and then here minus plus, and then it could be R1 here, R1 like that, and then I can ask what is this EI, right? So if EI is given, for example, if I take the transfer function, maybe I ask transfer function, what will transfer function? So this will be something like I can write as A plus B S plus divided by D plus Fs, and I ask what is A equal to what, B equal to what, D equal to what, F equal to what, right? This kind. So if this is the question you have to find out, then how will you do it? Okay, so here maybe this will be matching problem, or I can tell the one of the values, I can tell A equal to this, and based on that I ask others. So for example, in this case, how to find out? So transfer function I am solving also. So transfer function will be equal to this is Z2, so minus Z2 over Z1. Why minus? Because this is the first configuration where we are giving the input to the minus pin, right? So, and in that case, you know, it's simply equal to minus Z2 over Z1, right? So now we have to find out what is Z2, Z1, right? So Z1 is R1 simply, yeah, but Z2 is equal to, now see, they are in parallel now, they are not series, so they will not add up. So what it will be? So this Z2 will be equal to this is the parallel configuration, hence if you remember, accordingly you have to do, right? So Z2 will be will have two components. So let's call it first is Z3 and this is Z4, right? And which is equal to this is what the Z2 is, yeah, where Z3 is nothing but a capacitor only, C1, and for that you know this is 1 over C1s, and this is R, this is just R, yeah. So basically what you have Z2 is basically here it is 1 over C1s, and here you have R2, right? R2, like this one. Now they are in parallel, so hence you will have 1 over Z2 equal to 1 over R2 plus C1s, yeah. hence Z2 will be equal to simply 1 plus R2 C1s divided by R2, or sorry, this is 1 over Z2. Yeah. Yes, and hence Z2 equal to R2 plus 1 plus R2 C1s, what the Z2 is, right? Okay, now coming from this, yeah, so Ts will be equal to minus Z2 is R2 over 1 plus R2 C1s, right? Okay, so this is Z2 and divided by Z1 R1, so divided by R1. So what do you get? Equal to minus R2 divided by R1 divided by 1 plus R2 C1s. Yeah. So in this case, if there is a matching type where there will be some value, or I give you the value of A is this much, and since the ratio accordingly like there are multiple solutions of these, then we have to fix it to fix the others, right? So in this case, for example, for matching, it will be A equal to minus R2 over R1, okay, B will be 0, D will be equal to 1, F will be equal to R2 C1, for example. And I may give some value of that. I may say R1 equal to 5 ohms, C1 equal to 1000 microfarad, and R2 equal to 10k, something like that. And from there, you have to find out the values, and this is how you can do it. Yeah. Now you can do some kind of system modeling, meaning that let us say this is a spring, right? So in a spring, what happens? This is a K, you are applying a force F, and you are getting a displacement X, right? And how you do? The equation is, the transfer function in this case is T equal to X over F, right? And this is equal to 1 over K, right? So 1 over K is a transfer function. And here what the transfer function looks like, that means you are giving a force, that is the input, and you are finding out the output. So in this case is proportional, right? This is called it proportional. T like proportional. Yeah. So the more force you have, the more displacement it will have. So same kind of thing, if you want to represent as the IC, then you can do either you like have this in series, or you can have like this. So this is R1 minus plus. So same you have done already. So this is this, yeah, R1. Then you have R2 here, R2, and then again you will have R3, another op amp here, right? So this is the same, so it goes, okay, so here like this. Like this. Okay, so Y2, what you see here, this is a repeat, whatever is here and here, both are repeat, like the two circuits in series, the way we did for the LCR circuit, the same kind of thing is there. So from here you have one circuit, the second one, so for this one, T1 S is equal to R2 over R1, and for this T2S will be R4 over R3 minus, remember it's a minus. If you want to, here K is positive, so you want this kind of thing. Here also you have transfer function Ts equal to a constant, say alpha equal to constant. So if you want to make a transfer function constant here, what you do? So T s equal to T1 s multiplied by T2 s, because they are in series one after the other. Okay, and then what you get? Minus R2 over R1 multiplied by minus R4 over R3, and hence you get R2 R4 over R1 R3, right? And you can match with the some constant, you can match exactly what you get here, right? So you can match it like that. Yeah? Hence this system and this system is equivalent. Yeah. Okay. So that what we studied, that was called proportional control, right? So the proportional control. Yes, P. Yeah, so that means the input and output have a constant. Yeah, so they are proportional to input and output are proportional. Yeah. Okay, so this we have done. Now the integrator. Yeah. So when you say integrator, this will be something like this. Our damping, right? So damping. This is force here, and the equation becomes F equal to Cx dot, right? And hence x will be so equal to what? Equal to C dx over dt, and so x will be given by F over C dt like this, right? So this is what the integrator comes from. This output is the integration of input, right? So this means output is an integration of input. Input is what? Input is force, right? And output is displacement. Okay, so mechanical system, just a damper is an integrator basically, right? So you give a force and the displacement just integrates. The displacement will be just integrating it, that's it. Yeah. So the way it is like this one. Okay. Can we make equivalent the op-amp circuit for this one? Yeah. And how to do it? Remember, if here for this one, the T s will be equal to x s divided by Fs, and F, if you take here the force, you can write as Ft also, so Ft, yeah, so we write Ft here, so will be equal to here Xs divided by, and you have C S Xs equal to 1 over Cs. Yeah. So this is the transfer function for this 1 over Cs. That means let us say we call it equal to alpha over S, like this, or beta over S. Okay, something like beta over S. Can we make this kind of transfer function? If we have some constant divided by S, will indicate this is the integrator circuit. Yeah, this is the integrator like a process or system. So let us see how to design it. Of course, this is a positive, beta is positive, all the positive. So hence we will need 2 stages. And if let us say we don't mind having negative here, if you can find out the other stage, just we repeat one of the constant proportional one, we will get that also. What I mean is we have to find out for a like a op-amp circuit, we have Ts, for example, we have minus R2 over R1, right? Okay, and if we have like this, so this is minus, plus, and then we have resistance here, we have R2, and then we had sorry, R1 here, this is R2, this is connected here, yeah, and then this was like this, right? Okay. Okay, in this case is like this. Now we want S here, okay, so that really means S we want downward. So we have one of the option will be having R2 as a capacitor. So let us say we have a capacitor here, capacitor, let's call it C2. So what happens is this is also equal to minus Z1 over R2 over R1. Okay, so this becomes Z2 over Z1. One of the way will be having capacitor here, hence you get equal to C2 will be 1 over C2S, and then Z1 is R1. So what you get equal to minus and minus 1 over R1 C2 divided by S, right? We get like that. We get of this type already, but only thing is there's a negative here, so we can make it positive. So how do you do that? We are going to add here another circuit, and how? So we can do like this, right? So this is minus, this is plus, yeah, and then here we one resistance here, let's call it R3, and then we have this also, which is R4, and then total, this is T1 basically of this one, so T will be equal to whatever you have here, and then minus 1 over R1 C1 multiplied by 1 by S multiplied by minus R4 over R3. So minus minus becomes plus, and then what you get is R4 divided by R1 R3 C1 divided by S. So what you see, the transfer function is exactly like this only. You can say equal to beta over S. Now these are the things, R4, R1, R3, C1, these are the parameters. You can change those parameters to tune to beta. You can make a beta, this one. That means whatever behavior of this system is a damper system, you can exactly model using a operational amplifier. Of course, you will need two in this case. So because this is inverted, becomes inverted, now hence two of them will cancel each other. Yeah. Okay. Similarly, in your quiz or assignment, you may have some parameters to decide for, say, PD. Yeah. So PD means proportional plus differentiator. Yeah. Okay, so all these terms will come again and again later on, but right now we are just studying how to make a system which is proportional, the output is proportional to input, plus it is also a differentiation of the input. So that really means the output is equal to alpha times input plus beta times d over dt of input. That really means that. Yeah. Okay. So this is proportional. This is a proportional P part, and this one is the differentiator part. Okay. So see, that's what we call it PD. or PD controller we will study later on. Okay, so this will the circuit we are studying right now, because that will be useful, and whatever we have studied so far, we will be able to actually design this PD. Electronically we can design it also. So what you see is output. If you say in O, if you take the Laplace transform here, so OS equal to alpha, so this is proportional, this is differentiator, or so alpha times input IS plus beta, and here this is a differentiation, you know automatically S is multiplied, so S and then IS, right? And hence OS divided by IS will be equal to, what do you get? You get alpha plus beta S. So the idea is for the PD circuit will have this kind of transfer function, right? So TS. Yeah. Okay. So how to get this kind of? Okay. So earlier one we get 1 over S type, but now this is S is in numerator itself. So how to find it? Okay. So for that we have to obviously instead of using, so let me do it here. So we can have say something like this. So let's call it C1, this is R1 in parallel, and then you have minus plus here, okay, and here let's have R2 here. Okay, let's see what kind of transfer function this circuit gets. Yeah, so we have, let's call it for this stage is T1. Is T1 is equal to, we get R2 plus whatever the Z1 is. So this is Z1 divided by Z2 will be nothing but R1 multiplied by 1 over C1S divided by R1 plus 1 over C1S, right? So this is, since these are in parallel, so this is the equivalent resistance or equivalent impedance. So that will be equal to, and let it multiply here, so it becomes R2 divided by R1 divided by C1S, so R1 C1S plus 1, right? And that will be equal to R2 multiplied by R1 C1S plus 1 and divided by R1. And what you get simply here in this case is R1 R2 over well, this will be all minus, remember, so minus here. So this becomes minus R2 over R1, and then we have the value 1 plus R1 C1 times S. So what you see here is, this is a proportional term is coming, so alpha type term is coming here, and then you have the S term like this, but only thing is this is negative, and hence for this one T1S is equal to minus R2 over R1 and 1 plus R1 C1S. Yeah, and second stage we can add here, and this will be simply proportional one you can have. So we can have like this. Plus yeah, so this is R3, this is R4, like that. Yeah, okay, and So this T2s will be simply minus R4 over R3. We have done already, and hence T will be equal to Ts equal to T1s multiplied by T2s, because in series one after the other. So the output of this becomes input to that, so hence series. And what do you get? Minus becomes plus, and hence you get R2 R4 divided by R3 R1 R3, and then you have 1 plus R1 C1s, or equal to, you can have spell out R2 R4 over R1 R3 plus, and you have R2 R4 C1 divided by R3 S. Okay. So I can, in your test, quiz or the assignment, the continuous evaluation, I may give some values of this R2 R4 R1 R2 R3 R4 C1, and you can find and ask you to tell me what is the value of alpha, what is the value of beta, and you have to find out that. So this kind of questions. In this case, alpha is equal to alpha is equal to R2 R4 over R1 R3, and beta will be equal to R2 R4 C1 over R3. Right? Okay. So I may ask question like this as a transfer function as alpha plus beta times s. What is the value of alpha? Then you have to do this analysis. You find out alpha is equal to this value. Of course, there may be some values of this actual numerical values. So we put the values, find out the value of alpha, find out the value of beta. Yeah. So